new to me, I am a certified yoga instructor of the 500-hour program, and I would like to take you through a 30-minute Yin Yoga practice. If you're new to Yin Yoga, we're going to be holding poses for a longer period of time, so you don't want to go into the full expression of the pose. So say if thinking at a 1 at your lowest, your 5 at the full expression of that pose, you want to be at about a 1 or a 2. So say about 25%, because we are holding it for a longer period of time. One thing you might want some socks, because we're calming the body down, and your body temperature will lower. So you might, if you're one that gets cold feet, you might want some socks on. So other things, you'll definitely want lots of props. So I've got a couple of pillows here and a blanket, a couple of blocks. So get a good selection of props, and the more the better, because you never know which you might want to use. So let's get started in a seated position. I'm going to grab one pillow and sit on it just to bring my pelvis a little bit higher. And you'll notice I've got a chair behind me, so I'm going to prop my back up against that. I'm just doing a cross-legged position, so sit whatever way feels best for you. You could also put a couple pillows or blocks underneath your knees to support your knees as well. And through this, I'm going to give you lots of options of using props and making this really your own. Okay, so get yourself in a comfortable seated position, and let's first just start by calming ourselves down and bringing ourselves here into the present moment. So either softly gaze at something in front of you, relaxing your focus, or closing your eyes if that feels appropriate to you. Just starting to notice your inhales and your exhales, bringing awareness to your body, and start to notice, how are you arriving on your mat today? How are you feeling physically in your body? How are you feeling emotionally, energetically? Just observing without judgment. Taking notice of how we're beginning our practice, and we can compare how we feel at the end. See if you can start to lengthen your inhales and exhales, and noting the surface that you're on, whether you're on a mat or you're on your bed, connecting in with the four corners of your surface, creating this sacred space for you. These next 30 minutes are for you alone, your mind, your body, your spirit. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise. We're going to lengthen the exhale. This is called parasympathetic flow, to help bring us into that parasympathetic state, that state of rest and digest, where healing can happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for the count of 4. Each inhale will be the count of 4. Our exhales will start with the count of 4, then go to 5, and so on up to the count of 8, lengthening the exhales. And I'm going to walk you through it. So give a nice last exhale, and then we'll begin with our inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale and continue on at a pace that feels good for you. And just noticing again, how are you feeling? Do you feel more relaxed? Hopefully that helped to really ground you down. So let's begin by getting into our first movement, which is caterpillar. So our legs are going to be outstretched in front of us. You could stay seated on a pillow. So the full expression of caterpillar would be this, looking forward past our feet. So we don't want to round our neck, especially if you've been working at a computer all day, our neck has been through enough. So looking forward to keep that neck neutral, letting your feet be relaxed. Hands could be at your side. So this is option one. Another option is to put a pillow underneath your knees. So you could be here. Another option, I'm going to remove that pillow underneath it because personally I don't like that. So another option, but you could still have it, is to put a pillow underneath your chest and relax your chest. You could even put your hands here. And an additional final option is you could put a block or an additional pillow for your forehead, resting your forehead on the block or additional pillow. So decide where you'd like to be and allow yourself to settle in. And we're going to hold here for 3 minutes. So just let your feet relax to the side. Let your hands relax. Giving yourself some time to settle into the pose. And just do a scan through your body and notice if you're holding tension anywhere. So check in with your jaw, noticing if you're clenching your jaw. Let's just give our jaw a little wiggle side to side, maybe opening and closing your mouth a couple times, and then just relaxing your jaw, relaxing your feet, relaxing your shoulders. Your shoulders may start to want to creep up to your ears, so just let your shoulders come away from your ears. You're likely feeling a nice stretch at your low back, and this is the high. There's other areas you feel is the back of the legs, and so, and every body is different to where you may be feeling it, but most predominantly feeling it in the low back and the backs of the legs. And just breathe into where you're feeling that sensation. So with Yin Yoga, we never want any pinching or pain, no shooting pain. So if you do have any, pain, just bringing yourself out of it a little bit more, maybe putting more props underneath knees, that kind of thing. We do want sensation, so we want some sensation, like I say, at about that 25%. And you'll notice the more you hold the pose, gravity is going to kind of pull you into it. And can you allow that? Maybe just 5% more. Little bit by little bit, melting into the position just a little bit more. And if your mind is wandering, maybe you want to choose a mantra for your time tonight, whether there's something on your heart you're working with, or you may just say, I am calm. few more breaths here. Gently inhaling and exhaling, accepting the stretch. And then to bring yourself out of it, moving nice and slow, bringing your hands to either side of your hips, and then gently bringing yourself, moving nice and slow to an uprighted position. Lovely. We're going to bring ourselves to hands and knees. So just set any props to the side, but not far because you might want them. Take that blanket and put that under your knees because we're going to be on our knees for a little bit. So it just adds that little extra bit of cushion for your knees. So we're going to come into all fours and we're going to do a couple cat-cows here as a rebound pose. So we're going to move nice and slow, connect in with your tailbone, start to tuck your pelvis in, pushing into your hands, going up vertebrae by vertebrae. Your upper back is going up towards the sky. Lastly, your head comes down. Think of your tailbone again. Your tailbone is the first to move. It's starting to go up towards the sky. Slowly, your chest is starting to go down. You're working vertebrae by vertebrae, and your head is going to come up last. Do one more time each way, tucking your tailbone in, like fingers are walking up your spine to say when the next vertebrae moves. So we're making this, this is called a segmented cat-cow. And then untuck, so our tailbone is going up towards the sky, vertebrae by vertebrae. We're really connecting in with our spine instead of just dumping into the position. And then slowly make your way to a neutral spine. Lovely. And then for our next holding pose, we're going to come into child's pose. So giving you a couple options. And if you know you're one that doesn't like child's pose, I'm going to give you another option. I like to do a nice wide-legged child's pose with my knees wide, my toes together. Option one, this is the full expression of child's pose. And by all means, you can, as long as it's not too much for you. But you could place a pillow underneath your glutes on your heels and coming down. You could also put a pillow underneath your forehead. And then another option is to prop you up even higher, putting a pillow or two underneath your pelvis to really prop yourself up even higher, and then bringing your forehead down either to the mat or onto another blocker pillow in front of you. So get yourself settled in. If you're one who does not like to be in child's pose on your knees, you're going to come onto your back and either hug your knees in behind the knees, on top of the shin, and another option is you could even put a small pillow underneath your knees, or it could be up against a chair. So settle in there. We're going to hold here for 2 minutes. I've started the clock. Noticing your inhales and exhales. And as you hold here in the pose, connecting in with your breath as if it were seaweed. Inhale and exhale. Gently moving on the currents of the ocean. Inhale, exhale. Meeting the changes of the sea, going with the flow. Inhale, exhale. The seaweed dances and accommodates your breath with ease. Inhale, exhale. And as the current starts to still, so does the current of your breath as you fall deeper into this pose. little bit here. Just scan through your body, noticing, are you holding tension in your jaw? Are you holding your breath? Wherever you are feeling the sensation of their stretch, just send your breath there, allowing it to be like warm oil, melting you into the pose. Just 5% more for your final couple of breaths. And to come out of it, if you are in regular child's pose, just bringing your hands on either side of your face and pushing yourself up. If you are on your back, roll onto your side and slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. And we're going to come into supported side banana next. And we're going to hold that one for 2 minutes. So have a pillow to your side and another pillow close by just in case you need it. Put this pillow underneath our ribs. So set yourself down, and we're going to have our knees out in front of us bent. The lower arm is going to be outstretched above us, and you might want a pillow behind your head to rest your head on. For your knees, they're bent out front. Another option is you could always put a blocker pillow between your knees to rest your knees on, and especially if you get any pain in your low back, so that can help to alleviate that. And then another option for your front hand could just be rested out front, or it could come over top and meet the opposite hand for an additional stretch. So allow yourself some time to find the just right spot for you and settle in. Allow yourself to feel the support of the props that you're using. Can you allow yourself to receive support? Can you allow yourself to settle in and melt just a little bit more into the position? Receiving the healing from Yin Yoga. If your mind starts to wander, just check in with your breath. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Final few breaths here. If you have your upper hand outstretched, just bring that in front of you. We're going to slowly bring yourselves up so you can push into that front hand to help slowly bring yourself up. And we're going to go to the other side. So you could just tilt yourself over and then go down to the other side. I'm swinging myself around so that I can stay with you. So have that pillow underneath your ribs. Your arm is outstretched above, resting your head on your upper arm or onto a pillow. Get your upper body settled in. Your knees are bent out in front of you. Maybe a pillow or block in between. And then decide, does your hand come just out front? Or is it going to expand and find the other hand and then find a nice resting point to stretch through your other underarm? finding that just right spot. It's perfect for you. Appreciating that it doesn't have to look a certain way or be perfect. Just enjoying a nice softening stretch. Allowing your muscles, your joints, your ligaments, your fascia to ease into a gentle stretch. Blood is flowing to the areas that you are noticing the sensation. Again, as long as there's no pinching or sharp pain, if you do feel that, use additional props or to come out of it a little bit. Otherwise, we do want a little sensation of stretching. Final few breaths here. Can you just melt into the position just 5% more? And start to bring yourself up out of it. So if your hand is above, just bring that out in front of you, pushing into that hand where it feels sturdy for you so that you can slowly lift yourself up. And we're going to make our way onto our back. So again, it might be nice to have that blanket underneath your back for a little additional cushion. You're going to want to have, I'm going to use block because I want to come up a little bit higher. We're going to do supported bridge, but you just might want to use a pillow to not go into it as much. Bring yourself onto your back. You could put a pillow under your head here. I don't like to because I find that props my neck up too much, and I don't like the way that feels on my neck. So I've got my block here. And my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the floor. Let's push into our knees, keeping our knees hip distance apart, and then place that block right underneath your tailbone. And then let yourself settle into your block or your pillow. And just get settled in. Let's bring our hands out to like goalpost or goddess arms, keeping your your knees hip distance apart. We're going to hold here for 2 minutes. And just let yourself settle in, getting a nice stretch through your low back. If you've done a lot of sitting today, this can be a nice counterbalance for that. And just watch that your knees don't flare out to the side, keeping them roughly hip distance apart. Relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw. Whatever parts of your body are supported by either a prop or your mat or your bed. Just let yourself sink into it and accept that support. Release the doing. And once again, can you lengthen your exhales? Nice, slow, long exhalations. Nowhere to be. There's nothing to do other than to be here with yourself and your beautiful body. appreciating all that it's done for you today. Final couple of breaths here. Now, before coming out of it, let's raise up our right foot up towards the sky. Actually, you might want to bring your hands to your prop just in case you need to adjust it, so have it close by. And then raise up your left foot up towards the sky. And if you might need to wiggle onto your prop a little bit better. And let's just pause here for a moment. Maybe you want to invite some movement of some ankle circles, or just continue to enjoy that stillness. This is lovely for the circulation of our legs. You could always prop your legs up against a wall or up against a chair is another option. If you've done a lot of sitting or standing, this again is really nice to counterbalance that. Final couple of breaths here. And then slowly lower your right foot back down to the mat. Lower your left foot back down to the surface. Push into your heels to lift up your pelvis and move that support underneath. And slowly lower your tailbone back down to the mat. And just notice how your tailbone is feeling. I love that feeling after being up on that prop. I feel like my low back is just sinking and melting into my mat even more. Beautiful. So allow yourself to fall to one side to help bring you up so that we can set up for our next position. This is our final position before going into our final relaxation pose. So let's roll up that blanket. Nice rolled blanket. I'm going to come into supported fish. So bring that rolled up blanket underneath your tailbone and have your two pillows close by or blocks. So just have those close by for your legs. So lower your upper back. Your spine is going to land over that blanket, bringing the soles of your feet together for butterfly. So bring those pillows on either side of your knees for supported butterfly, and that way you won't go into the full expression of butterfly. So I don't want you to go in as deep. And then bring your hands out to either side, making a T with your upper body. And then let yourself just melt into all of that support. Notice if you have any resistance. Can you release that resistance? Receive the support of the props, of your mat or your bed. Just settling in here for another moment. Opening up our chest. And if you've been doing a lot of computer work, this is nice to counterbalance for that upper body. Opening up the shoulders and the chest. Releasing all the doing of your day. Final couple of breaths here. So we're going to come into our final resting pose of Savasana, and maybe this is it for you. Maybe you want to stay here, or Gently bringing yourself up. You can take that blanket and take one pillow for underneath your head. Maybe one pillow underneath your knees can be nice. And then wrapping that blanket around you. I like to cocoon my feet into the blanket and bring yourself back down into a comfortable final resting pose. Just laying your hands gently at your side or maybe on your belly. Letting your feet just be comfortable. Just letting your breath relax. I'm going to read you a meditation here. Lay yourself out to rest as if you are pressing the blueprint of your entire body into the earth, beneath the earth. Take a long, slow breath in and exhale physically, mentally, emotionally. As gravity takes hold, feel your organs get heavy and sink earthbound as your upper body becomes lighter and more buoyant. Let the muscles around your eyes soften and the skin on your forehead melt as your body slowly spreads like water. As you let go another 5%, release the trying, the doing, the fighting, and come into being. No need to try so hard here. Let the soft hum of your breath come and go of its own accord. Your breath breathing you. Allow yourself to be held here by the earth as if you were being held in the arms of a mother. With this sweet support, are you more able to drop into your inner landscape? Are you more able to feel a soothing wash through you, filling every space of your being? And know that this feeling, this peace, is always there for you, waiting patiently for you to uncover it when you need. Now I'm going to leave you in silence here. Because it's the end of the day and I want to allow you the opportunity to rest longer if you need that, or maybe even fall off to sleep. This video will end. Thank you for joining me.